What is good, everybody? It's Big Game James, man. I'm back in the building. And we'll be quick. Just going to give my quick thoughts on this Cowboys 2023 draft. A lot of people were disappointed. I can't say I was disappointed. There was wasn't a lot of spots open for the Cowboys this year. They built up their team these last 3 years, so they made it to where there's a lot of starters and it's hard to get in that roster. So it's kind of a win now roster. So when you look at last year and this year, not a lot of spots this year. So it's really a lot of depth picks when you really look at it, maybe future picks when you look at it down the line. But let's jump into my thoughts. All right, so first, obviously, we had the first pick, which was Mozzy Smith, 26th, from Michigan. 6'3", 337-pounder. And, I ain't going to lie. When we were first talking about Mozzy, I wasn't, on him like that because, number one, I didn't think they had drafted defensive tackle. They haven't drafted one since Russell Maryland since 1991, so I didn't think that was going to happen now. Dan Quinn has drafted defensive tackles, and they're about this size. This is the size that he usually likes to draft them as. Big boys, 330s, 340s. He likes the big boys. My thing was, as you look at kind of the stats right here, as you can go over and check out Mozzy's stats per Pro Football Focus. But I think the biggest thing that I was saying, with Mozzy, I'm like, I want to see a little bit more pass rushing ability. You know what I mean? A little more push that pocket, a little more motor full-time. Here's a motor, but full-time. But here's the thing. Dallas has been getting ran over for how many years? How many years has Dallas been getting ran over? Tons. Seems like forever. That's always been the Achilles heel. Even when Dallas had good rushing totals, like in 2014 when they were only giving up 80-something yards a game. It wasn't because they had a good rush defense. It's because that offense was so damn good, it was putting teams where they couldn't really run the ball and they had to play catch-up, so they had to throw the ball. So that's why your run game is not going to be high. But when teams really stuck with the run against us, Dallas suffered tons of games. When teams stuck with the run, teams stuck with getting physical, that was one of the biggest issues Dallas has had, especially soft in that middle. We couldn't get that 330-pounder. Remember, 2020, they got Dontario Poe. We were excited, but that wasn't the Dontario Poe we were used to seeing. It was the one that was done. Gerald McCoy, we were excited, got hurt. So it wasn't like they haven't been trying. Got Bohanna. He's going in year 3. He was a 6th-round pick. He's been okay. Obviously, we love what Jonathan Hankins did mid-season. He made the defense better, made it easier for the linebackers, re-signed him, so you understand. But to me, with this Mozzy pick, I like it for the simple fact that you're addressing that need where we got to get better in that run game, and we need a run stuffer. We need somebody who can hold that point of attack, who can keep these linebackers, these edge rushers, whoever. We need to keep these guys free so they can do their job and be even more effective. That's why LVE was effective down the line, because you added Hankins. He played better in the run game. You saw what we did against San Francisco. You saw what they did against Tampa in the run game. Jonathan Hankins made a difference, and he's older. So when you add a guy like this and Mozzy Smith, I can't even hate on that pick. As you see some of the positives, you can read through these. You can always play this back, and I'll show you the positive negatives. I ain't going to go through all that. I'll let you read it yourself. But Dallas need to adjust that run, and they need to do it as soon as possible. So I'm cool with Mozzy. I like to see more pass rushing, but maybe we might see it more in the pros than we saw it in college. I do have my hesitancies with Michigan middlemen, but these guys get paid millions of dollars to scout, so I'm going to go ahead and trust them. So, Mozzy, cool. Luke Shoemaker from Michigan. 2 Michigan back-to-back guys. And I did a show when people were like, I think we were talking about Mozzy Smith on the Best of Enemies podcast, and I was shooting them down like, no, I don't want Mozzy Smith because I don't know if he's going to push the pocket. I want somebody who can rush the pass more. But, hey, people were like, you hate Michigan players. Actually, I really don't. But going back to Shoemaker, You can read it. I'm not going to read all that. You can read it, rewind it, read it, what they say about him. But the thing I like about Luke is, I'll show you what I like about Luke. Bam. That's what I like about Luke. We talk about what he compared to Jake Ferguson, and we love Jake Ferguson, right? I mocked him numerous times in our mock draft, numerous times last year for the pick. Like, I did like 5-6 mock drafts, and 3 of them I had Fergie because I went to the Senior Bowl and I watched him. I said, this is the guy. He fits the Dallas mold, hands, not super speed, okay athletic ability. He fits the mold, right? And we were loving what Fergie did last year, right? He played like 400 snaps. Look at them numbers, okay? And that 4.6 really stands out to me. I like that speed. The split, the 10, 20-yard split, the 10-yard split. And he was wearing 86 like Dalton Schultz, man. And you see them routes, he'd be hot pocketing it like Boss Cowboy says. So when I look at these first 2 picks, I think these are future and now picks. Like, we need to stop the run game now. We have a really good defense. Mozzy could be the missing piece in that middle that can really take it over the top. We have a pretty good offense. We needed more offensive weapons. You went and got Brandon Cooks out there. Gallup should be better year 2. Tolbert hopefully should be better year 2. I mean, not Gallup year 2, but after injury year 2. Tolbert, you saw what CeeDee Lamb did. And then you already seen Fergie and Hendershot, and then you add another tight end with speed. So that to me tells it's all in. I'm cool with that. Yeah, it looks like they want to get a tight end. Yeah, we could have got a guard. Yes, we could have got other players. I promise you, I know we could have. Wasn't sexy picks, but Shoemaker's going to play a lot. And you already got your boy from Michigan a couple years ago. I can't remember his name, but y'all know what I'm talking about. It may come later. But when I look at those 2 picks, they look like now picks. And with that speed and how I can get open over the middle, I'm not mad at it. I can't even front. I'm not mad at it. But, and then we'll go to the edge or your linebacker, DeMarvion Overshown, as you can see some more. I'm going to show you some more of those numbers right here. And you can read that for yourself. I'm not going to go over that. I did a quick video on all these guys. So you can go watch those videos that I've done on Facebook if you want to hear what I got to say about them. But the thing that stood out to me was DeMarvion was that your 6'3", 229 heat-seeking missile was a safety converted to a linebacker. So you see the range. You can see the playmaking ability. You can see he can pluck it out the sky. Missed tackling is terrible. I don't like the missed tackling. I don't like how he tackles as well. And honestly, I think he's more of a future guy. I don't think he's a this year guy, linebacker. I think they're settled at linebacker. I don't think he sees the field as a linebacker or a safety. Maybe he ends a few packages here and there, but I think he's going to get a lot of work on special teams. So I think he's a future guy. You know, I think he's what you're going to see in the future. So love the ability. I just don't think he's going to see that field like that this year. So I think he's more the future pick. Viemi Fehoko, please, if I messed your first name up, I'm so sorry. From San Jose State. And you can see right here, it says makes a lot of sense in the 4th round. Offers versatility. I don't think he's an edge guy in the NFL because his athletic ability is average. But he can slide inside. He's a big boy. He can slide inside, and he wins with effort. I think he had like 13 sacks this season. Had like 66 pressures this past season. He wins with effort. And they were talking about having a plan of him sliding in. So I think that's where you'll see him. But once again, I don't think you see him a lot this year. I think they're stacked up front. So I don't see where Fehoko smells the field this year with everybody that they have. I mean, you still got Golston, Osa, D-Law, Ohana, Hankins, Mozzy. You know, you got that room is going to be tough. And your 4th rounder, I don't think you get on the field like that. Asim Richards, offensive tackle, North Carolina. To be honest, I don't know a lot about him. I just started watching a few videos on him. And once again, I think he's a future guy because I feel like they were the reason why they didn't go hard. And obviously we saw the video with Mozzy and Bergeron from Syracuse. He could have been the pick, but you heard what Will McClay said. We're pretty good up front as far as the line goes, offensive line. So, but we need some help up front in the middle right now. We like the depth that we already have on the offensive line, so I feel like he's more of a depth pick. They want to see what Matt Luetzko is doing. He was a red shirt. They want to see what Josh Ball slide in the side. They want to see with the center that they got from Boston College. Can't remember his name. And then your boy from Nebraska. These names are slipping me. I'm so sorry. But you know, I just feel like he's a depth guy. He's not a guy that really may smell the field. They picked up your boy from the Jets. Sorry, don't have these names offhand, but I just clicked the button and turned the video on and we're popping. So I apologize about that. So Eric Scott Jr., cornerback, Southern Mississippi. You see the size, 6'2", 200 pounds, 40-inch vertical, really athletic. He may have a chance. He may compete because, you know, it's up for grabs. You got to see what Kelvin Joseph is doing, Nashawn Wright is doing. We know what Deron Bland did, and then you saw what Mukamu did, and we know what Trevin Diggs, and we don't know if Anthony Brown is coming back or Jordan Lewis. I don't know how he really sees the field this year other than special teams unless he goes crazy like Deron Bland. And the only reason why Deron Bland got significant snaps was because of the injuries of Anthony Brown and Jordan Lewis. So he wasn't really going to get a lot of time. So, you know what I mean? And then Deuce Vaughn, I like him from Kansas State. Deuce, great story. Coach Dad's already on the team and great. He's not a big kid, 5'5", 180. But hey, neither was Darren Sproles, same college. I watched Darren Sproles in college. You saw what he did. Had a pretty good career in the NFL, like 15 years. Just put him in figure spots out for him. You know, he's not going to be no full-time running back. But if you bring back Ezekiel Elliott, you got a power back, and you already got Tony Pollard in the fold, get him in some packages, maybe some kick returns, maybe some punt returns, get him in some packages, get him in some space. He can do some things. So I like Deuce Vaughn at the 6th round pick, and I think he may smell the field just because of what he can offer. Jalen Brooks from South Carolina, keep it around, I don't know nothing about him. I'll just be lying if I did. But he's a 7th rounder. I don't see where he sees the field. I don't see where he does that at all. Just my opinion. I'm not going over any of the undrafted rookie free agents. You can talk about them later. But, you know, like I said, they Pro Football Focus gave Dallas a C+. Some people gave him A's, B's, all that. My initial look from this and my initial grade from this as I get ready to close would be this. I'm going to give it a C, not because it's bad. It's just because Dallas is stacked, and I don't see where these guys get on the field besides Mozzy and Shoemaker. I don't think Overshown's going to see the field a lot. I don't think Fehoko is. Richards, Eric Scott Jr., if he makes the squad, I think Deuce Vaughn sees it. Jalen Brooks, I don't know if he makes the squad. So that's where I'm saying it's a C right now because I only think 2 people are really going to get significant snaps on the team. And if you look at it last year, right? Look at the snaps, right? Here. Total snaps are right here, right? Look at Jalen Tolbert, 89. This was last year's class, right? And then Malik Davis, he wasn't there. Peyton Anderson, Fergie, 480, 307. That's what Dalton Schultz there. So decent, but not crazy. They didn't see a crazy amount of snaps. There we go. Lindstrom was the guy I was talking about. Chuma. That's what I was talking about. So the name's coming up. Farinu. There you go. Matt Waletzko. 1 whole snap. We saw the injury. Then let's go down here. Deron Bland. He got a significant amount of snaps, 745. But once again, you had injuries to big time the players, 2 veterans. That's why you saw him really smelling the field. Wow, that's crazy. You got more snaps than both of your 2nd and 3rd round picks from the year before. But let me scroll down. Look at your 2nd round pick. He only got 306 snaps. Crowded. Feel me? So when you look at the picks right here, Tyler Smith definitely was a breakout player, starter. Sam Williams was a rotational guy. Jalen Tolbert didn't smell the field. Fergie got a decent amount of snaps, not crazy though. But let's go. Red shirt. Deron Bland only really got significant snaps because of injuries. Damone Clark really smelt the field because injuries, but he was a damn good player. John Ridgeway, gone, sad. But hopefully Mozzy makes up for that. Devin Harper, red shirt year, hurt. So I'm going to go with a C. That's my grade, just because I only think 2 players are really going to see the field this year, and these other guys are going to be more of the future. So that's the way I look at it. Not bad picks for later on, because they always say look at the draft after 3 years. Not flashy guys, not the sexy guys, not big names or some of the big names we could have got, but they could be good down the line. We will see. But as for me, I'm just going to go with the C, only because I only think 2 guys are really going to smell the field. And that's kind of my thoughts on it. But we'll kind of see. Big Game James, my thoughts. Listen up to the video. Check it out. We'll be going hard tonight and talking more about this. And then obviously we got our big call-in show tomorrow where we get to hear what you guys got to say about the draft. So make sure you're in there for the Giant show. Get in there, get your face in there, and let's talk draft from you guys tomorrow.